All right, let's talk about how to do linear programming. So this is worksheet 6B, and let me go through it with you and show you what you do at each step of the way. It's pretty involved, so go slow, take your time. First off, it says the number of googolplexes is the x's, so I'm going to call the x's the googolplexes, and the y's are going to be the logarithms. And then we're going to have a constraint over here of time. So X is Google's, Y is logs, and we have our time. It says we have 3 lights installers, and they each work 9 hours a day. So I'm going to start out with the lights. And there's 3 of them times 9, so the total time is going to be 27 hours. So whatever our lights time is, it's got to be less than or equal to 27. Next come the 2 muffler men. So down below, I'm going to put the mufflers. There's 2 of them, they each work 8 hours a day, so that's going to be less than or equal to 16. Then come the 3 woofer guys, so down here we're going to put the woofers. There's 3 of them, they put in 22 hours a day between them, so the total is going to be 22, less than or equal to 22. And then the detail men put in 26 hours a day total, so their total has got to be less than or equal to 26. Okay, so we've got our times. Now we're going to go back and figure out what the equations are. So you read through here carefully, and it says 1 hour, googolplexes take 1 hour to install the lights, so it's going to be 1 times X for the lights. 2 hours to put the muffler on, so it's going to be 2X for the muffler. 3 hours to detail, so go down to detail, make sure you don't, skip all the way down to detail. It's 3X to do detailing, and 2 hours to install the subwoofer. So it's 2X for the subwoofer. Okay? And the logarithm takes 3 hours to put the lights on, so it's going to be 3 times Y for the logarithms. 1 hour to get the muffler on, so plus 1 times Y for the muffler. That'll be our time. And then 2 hours to detail, so plus 2Y to do detail on logarithms, and 2 hours to install the woofer, so that's times 2Y for the woofer equation. Okay, now we're going to solve each of these equations for Y. So here I'm going to have Y less than or equal to, take the X over, it makes it negative, then I divide by 3, so it's going to be negative 1/3 X, and then the 27 is going to be divided by 3 also, that's going to be plus 9. So that's my lights equation right there. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the muffler. I'm going to take the 2X over, so Y is going to be less than or equal to negative 2X plus 16. So that's going to be my muffler equation. For the woofer, I'm going to take the 2X over, so I have Y less than or equal to negative 2X divided by 2 is just going to be negative 1X. And then 22 divided by 2 is going to be plus 11. So that's my woofer equation. Last is the detail equation. Y is going to be less than or equal to negative 3X divided by 2. So it'll be negative 3/2 X. And then 26 is also divided by 2, so that'll be plus 13. Okay, so I've got 4 equations. I'm going to graph each one of those. That's going to give us our operating area, and then we'll be able to figure out which vertex is going to be the most efficient for us to operate at. Let me try a different pencil. Okay, so I usually start with the bottom equation. So the lowest equation is where it crosses at 9. Make sure you count carefully going up the y-axis here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is going to be up here, right off the chart. Okay? And now, negative 1/3 X plus 9 is the lights equation. So I go to 9, start at 9 on the y-axis, go down 1 and over 3, put a dot at each vertex here, each point, put a dot, down 1 over 3. So the lights equation looks like this. The next line is going to be negative x plus 11. So now I'm going to go to 11. I'm going to go down 1 and over 1 each time. So it looks like this. Put a dot at every coordinate so you can tell exactly where it's going. And this is the Whoofer equation, looks like this. Okay. Next comes the detail equation. That's at 13. So go up to 13, and this goes down 3 and over 2. So 1, 2, 3 over 2, 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 and very carefully connect those dots. Last equation is the Muffler equation. That's up here at 16, and it's got a slope of -2. So down 2 and over 1, down 2 and over 1. All the way down there. And the lines are always going to cross like this. You know, they're always going to cross in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices. Okay, and there'll always be 5 vertices. So now we write down the coordinates of each of those vertexes. This one's going to be 0 and 9. The next one will be 3 and 6, 7, 8, 3, comma 8. The next one is going to be at 4, comma 6, 7. The next one here is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comma 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last one over here is at 5, 6, 7, 8, comma 0. So that, of course, means that we're going to make eight googolplexes. So the x-coordinate is 8, and the y-coordinate is 0. So 8 googolplexes and no logarithms if we operate at that point right there. So von Neumann's linear programming theorem says that the most efficient place to operate will be at one of these vertices. So we're going to check each vertex and see how much money we make there. And it tells you here we make $6,000 on the googolplexes and $7,500 on the logarithms. So that means each x I'm going to multiply by 6,000, and each y I'm going to multiply by 7,500, and see how much we make at each vertex. So you can do this on your calculator. 6,000 times 0 plus 7,500 times 9. So at that vertex right there, we're going to make $67,500. We make no googolplexes and 9 logarithms. That's how much we'll make. 3 and 8, I just go back here and change the 0 to a 3, and I change the 9 to an 8. And I make 78,000 at this vertex here. I make 3 googolplexes and 8 logarithms. I make 78,000 each day. Next, I go back and change the 3 to a 4 and the 8 to a 7. And at that vertex, I make $76,500 a day. So if we make 4 googolplexes and 7 logarithms, and then change the 4 to a 6, and the 7 to a 4, I make 66,000 at this vertex. And lastly, if I make all googolplexes and no logarithms, I make 48,000. So then you just look through your vertices, you know, which one, and see, hey, where would I make the most money? And it looks like right here, right, it'd make 78,000 a day if we make 3 googolplexes and 8 logarithms. So that's going to be our answer, 3 and 8. And that's how you do linear programming. Pretty complicated. You have to be careful and follow each step. But it's using everything you've learned so far about linear inequalities and graphing, writing equations. So very nice. Way to go.